Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Welcome to December. Happy December 1st. I cannot believe we are here. So come on in, y'all. Make yourself at home. This is like a noonday. We're gonna try noonday to see if that's better for everybody. Got great feedback on the live that I did the other day about weight loss tips, and that was like in the middle of the day. It was a weekend, but people seem to like earlier better, so we're gonna try it and see if we can increase the engagement. But I'm glad you're here if you're watching it live or you're watching it on the replay. If you cannot stay for the whole time, thank you for being here for whatever amount of time you can be here, but just make sure you come back, you comment, and you share this video with your YouTube family or your Instagram family, whichever is good for you. So it is noon. It's 12:01. So let's get started. So I am Lynette Williams, aka Operation Sexy Body, and I am a women empowerment coach. And I use fitness as my mode of therapy. It is my personal belief that the attention, focus, dedication, and adjustment that you put on your fitness and nutrition life is paralleled to any and everything surrounding you. And when you do that, you are happier, healthier, and more whole, not only to yourself, but to everybody around you. And today we're designing your blueprint. I'm excited about today. Come on in, y'all. Hey, make sure that once you comment or once you subscribe to the channel after a minute, you're able to comment. So make sure you come in and say, hey, I see you guys coming in. Make sure you say, hey, make sure to comment. What I like to do is I like to just have the conversation with you guys. You guys respond when I ask questions. You say ouch when you need to say ouch, you say amen when you need to say amen. And then afterwards, I'll make certain to comment and answer any specific questions that you guys may have. So let's get started. My goal is to get you in and out in around 30 minutes. I know that middle of the day, you don't have an hour. I think our last live was like 80 minutes. You don't have like an hour and 10 and 20 minutes to chat with me in the middle of the day. I wish you did, but all right, so let's get started. So today we are talking about the 2026 blueprint. And if you know anything about a blueprint, to be able to design with expert precision, with unparalleled design, to really take your abstract thoughts to paper, to really see your vision come to life, to get excited about the plans that are in your head, to actually implement them, whether it be a house being built, whether it be a design of some sort that you have created in your head. Maybe it's a dress, maybe it's a suit, maybe whatever it may be. When you have that blueprint, you get really excited about seeing that path and seeing it to the end. So we are taking that concept of the blueprint, applying it to you and applying it to your 2026, which is crazy to say, next month. This year has flown by. All right, so my goal is to have this conversation about the blueprint to leave you feeling inspired and empowered to design the life that you desire. A lot of times there are so many things that are out of our control: weather, economy, unemployment, underemployment, promotions. There's so many things, kids, okay, hello. But there are so many things that are outside of our control, but something like a blueprint for our life, we control that. And so it's so exciting to be able to do this with you today for however long you can stay, but just promise me that you will come back, okay? All right, I see y'all commenting in the chat, so thank you so much. All right, so inspired and engaging in your blueprint is going to be the way that you want to go, because if someone designs something for you, it may be nice, it may not fit all of the checkpoints, but when you are designing something custom for yourself, whether it's a custom outfit, a custom drawing for a house, like whatever it is, and you have your stamp of approval on it, it's nothing like it. All right, so we're gonna be excited about this today. All right, so I talked to you about the flow of everything. So we're not just turning a calendar page, guys. We're not just going into next month like we did this month or November or October or April or May or any other month this year. Because it seems like, I don't know about you, but sometimes it seems like life has just like, oh my gosh, you look up and it's another month. Oh my gosh, you look up and it's another season. Oh my gosh, you look up and you don't even have rain boots and it's raining. Oh my gosh, I don't even have a coat. It's cold. All of a sudden, life just kind of does this snowball effect. So we are being intentional about our blueprint for next year, and we are not going to get caught off guard. We are going to be ready, we're going to be prepared, and we're going to be honest with ourselves. That sometimes is the hardest thing, to be honest with ourselves, to say, what part of 25 just really kicked my butt? Was it my emotional awareness? Was it my nutritional path? Was my fitness on point? What about my relations with my friends and family? Did I let that go to the side? Maybe my emotional regulation, maybe depression, maybe that was a part of my 25, and I don't want that to be a part of my 26. So we're going to talk about that. Sorry, I almost died. No, I'm just playing. Sorry. Whatever crud Skylar brought home a couple of weeks ago, we are all still feeling the remnants of it. We're safe, we're healthy-ish, but every now and again, it's just this random cough, so don't worry. Okay. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about 2 key shifts. And if you have notes, please take notes and something that may kind of prick your spirit or something that you want to come back to and brainstorm about later. Feel free to do that. You can comment in the chat, and if you need more clarification for anything. But I want to talk about 2 key shifts. I want to talk about a mindset shift, and I want to talk about a behavioral shift, okay? And I'm going to break these down. So we want to go from one thing to another thing. So we know that a shift means current position to a new position. So we're going to talk about current position to new position as it relates to our mind and our behaviors. All right. So the way that I define a mindset shift is from proving myself. So from proving myself to trusting myself. I want us to move away from the external validation, the likes and the applause and the claps and the snaps and the good jobs and pats on the back. I want us to move away from that, and I want us to trust our own intuition. Okay? And it could be something as simple as, should I get the blue or the black? Oh, I would get the blue. And you may trust someone to choose that for you because maybe your color sense is not as good as theirs or whatever, but they don't have your intuition. They don't have all of the check boxes that you go through in your head to make a decision. So all the while you're seeking someone else to make the decision for you, you can make the decision for yourself, but you don't make the decision yourself solely, because you want a little bit of ownership for someone to take a little bit of that ownership. Because if stuff goes left, you want to say, well, why did you tell me to pick the blue? You knew that I don't have anything blue and you just wanted me to switch it up. No, I should have picked the blue, or I should have picked the black for my own reasons. I think a lot of times we want buy-in from other people. We want a little bit of responsibility to be put on the other person. And it's a very slippery slope and a dangerous place to be when you allow other people the opportunity to create the framework of how you see yourself. You are enough. The intuition that you have about things, the intuition that you have about people, the opportunities that are presented to you, they are yours for a reason. Your life is not a democracy, and you, in taking ownership of your health, of your nutrition, of your fitness, of your career, of your family, of your position in life, that is something that you are going to have to take control over. setting boundaries. We talk about, I feel like every time I get on here, I say something about a boundary because it's that important. Because people will not respect you if you do not set boundaries for yourself. Boundaries protect you and it protects other people. Okay, there's a clear line. Okay, if you're driving down the street and you see caution tape, the caution tape is there so you don't go into uncharted territory. And whatever is behind that caution tape, that is it could be wet cement, it could be a ditch, it could be anything. So that space is being guarded off so that it doesn't present a problem to you. Okay. And when you go into territory that you are not supposed to, number one, you're not trusting your intuition because something should tell you, hey, I see something here that I shouldn't engage in. But what do? We convince ourselves that we can either change it, we can work around it. And the reality is you don't have to, right? So let's go from proving myself to trusting myself. Okay. The behavior shift that I want, and I'm going to go into mindset shift and behavior shift. I'm just kind of setting them up. The behavior shift that I want to talk about is waiting for clarity, like that analysis paralysis that we all tend to do, sometimes more than we should. Okay. So waiting for clarity. I want to go from waiting for clarity to creating clarity through action. From waiting for clarity to creating clarity through action. Just want to let that breathe for a second. Because that may be an oucher, right? You may be the person that analyzes every single thing and then it's time to make a decision and you can't make a decision. Well, not making a decision is the decision in and of itself. Like you're deciding not to make a decision. So you are succumbing to whatever comes your way from that. And that may be how you live your life. And that may be something that you want to change because we have to make decisions. We have to be empowered to make decisions. So we're going from waiting for clarity. A lot of times we say, oh, well, I just don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. That doesn't solve anything. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't solve anything. You can be still, but don't make that stillness your permanent place. Okay, so we're going from waiting for clarity to creating clarity through action. So waiting for clarity and creating clarity through action is a very proactive and reactive scenario. When you're waiting for clarity, you're going to react. You're going to be reactive and reacting to whatever comes your way. The proactive approach is through your action, I'm going to create the scenario and set up the scene that I desire to have in my life, right? I don't know what workout to do. I don't know what gym to go to. I don't know what fitness plan I should follow. So I'm just not going to do anything. Versus, I don't know what workout plan to do. I don't know what gym to join. I don't know what activity I should do. But I'm going to start somewhere. I'm just going to start and figure it out as I go. Action. Our lives need to be about intentional actions, and we need to surround ourselves with people and things that support the action that we want, okay? So action creates momentum and insight. It's like turning on the car, right? Like you can get in the car. Could you push it if you put it in neutral? Absolutely. But it's not until you turn that car on and you actually drive and get momentum that it's going to perform the way that it's intended to. That's the same thing with your life. Action creates momentum and insight, not the other way around. Insight and momentum don't create the action that you want. Action only does that. You have to act. You have to be intentional about the things and people that get you from where you want to be, from where you are to where you want to be. All right, so let's break this down. So I classify mindset shifts. Thank you guys for commenting. I see your comments. And welcome to those of you all who just joined. All right, so mindset shifts is kind of like the internal software of it all, right? Like um the software of it all, like the brains of it all. So I want, when I talk about these things, I want you all to pick one mindset shift and one behavioral shift. It's going to be much more effective to choose one of each than to try to navigate all of them at once. And they may all seem good, but that's not going to be effective, right? We want to operate in efficiency, not busyness. And so for a lot of us, busyness has just been something that we've been accustomed to. And we're so used to being busy that we have no business. You're so busy, here to there. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do that. And you have no business. So we're gonna be siloed in one mindset shift and one behavioral shift. All right, so I want you to think about you in this situation. Be completely selfish. Think about you in this moment. All right. So we're going to still keep in the same mind, in the same framework of going from our current situation to another situation. Okay. So I'm going to start with mindset. From I need to have it all figured out to my path is unique and unfolds one step at a time. That's so scary. Isn't that scary? To not have it all figured out, because people look at you and feel like you have it all figured out all the time and you're like winging it 99.7% of the time. What would it mean if you just didn't have an answer? What would it mean if you just didn't know what was next? How comfortable would you be? Some of y'all are fainting right now. Like, I cannot, no. Isn't that wild? So from I need to have it figured all out, which is how you may currently feel, to my path is unique and unfolds one step at a time. Okay, so how do you make this shift? Replace the pressure of knowing everything with a commitment, with a timeline, with a goal, with all of the information wrapped up nicely into a little bow and you're just waiting to execute it. Go from that and ask yourself, what's one thing I can learn or do this week that helps move me forward? So I don't have to have it all figured out. I don't have to have it all tied up in a nice little bow. But how can I do one thing now that will move me closer to my goal? Okay, that's the first one. I'm waiting for motivation to strike. So I know my goal. I see my goal. I'm just waiting to get enough courage, motivation. I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to get off this medication. I know that I am not living my best life because I just don't prioritize my health the way that I should. But I'm just not motivated. How do you stay motivated? How do I not keep falling off the wagon? We're going to go from that to I am disciplined. I want you to say that. Like, if you're in a room with people and you can't say it, okay, but just say it in your head. I am disciplined. And action creates motivation. You're never going to be motivated if you don't act. You can't rely on motivation to get you out the bed. You have to be disciplined. When that alarm goes off at 3:10 every morning, I'm not kicking flips. I'm disciplined and I'm obedient. I'm obedient to my assignment. So I get up. Am I motivated to get up all the time? Nope. Some days I am. I would venture to say most days I am, because I know it's my selfish time. I know that nobody needs me. I know that I am going to feel great afterwards. Like, I know all these things in my head, but some days I'm like, whatever. I'm not motivated. I'm disciplined. So we're going to go from I'm waiting for motivation to implement the plan that I know that I need to telling myself I am disciplined and action creates the motivation that I need. Stop waiting to feel motivated, guys. If you rely on motivation to do everything in life, you are setting yourself up for failure. I'm just going to tell you. Because there are going to be things that you need to do that you're not motivated to do, but you need to get them done. And it may not manifest itself in an issue now, but I'm not working out and being disciplined and being regimented for now. I'm doing all this for the next 10 years. I'm doing this to be an example to my 6 and 8-year-olds so that when they get older, they're going to remember the discipline of getting up at the same time every day, regardless if it's a weekend or a weekday. They're going to remember mommy working out and not going downstairs or in the garage or wherever to bother her. They're going to remember how the things that they want out of life, they have to go get. And they're going to realize that because they're going to see mommy, or and in your case, they may neighbors, coworkers. When you bring your lunch, instead of going out to lunch with your coworkers and you still go to fellowship, you may eat at your desk before you go, when you come back. That motivation to stay on track and not let external circumstances dictate how successful you are. There are always going to be things that detract and try to distract you from your goal, but you can't allow that. You can't allow motivation to filter whether you do something or you don't do something. All right, so we're going from I'm waiting for motivation to strike to I am disciplined and action creates motivation. This one is going to be an ouch. I'm just going to tell you now, okay? From my worth is tied to my productivity to my worth is inherent. I am a human being, not a human doing. So this goes back to the busyness. A lot of our worth is tied to how productive we feel like we are, how effective or efficient we are. And it's natural. It's human nature to feel worthy because you check things off of your checklist. But I have a surprise to tell you. You will still be as worthy as you are, even if you don't get everything done on your checklist. Even if some things go a couple of days and you don't find the time to do it. If you don't call somebody back immediately, it's okay. You're not a horrible person. You say, mea culpa, my bad, I'm sorry I missed your call. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to call you back. But I'm not less of a person because I haven't done every single thing perfectly. And perfectionism is real. It's this belief that if I'm not doing anything perfectly, then I might as well not be doing anything at all. Perfectionism is this extreme that really doesn't exist, y'all. So my worth is tied to my productivity. We're going from that to my worth is inherent. I'm a human being, not a human doing. I'm not a robot. I don't need to be doing something all the time. Plan your rest time. Put your phone on do not disturb and stop checking it. Put your social media apps on the last page of your phone, your screen, so that you aren't tempted to waste time scrolling and doing the comparison game and getting lost in other people's lives. And stay focused and stay centered on who and whose you are. And that self-worth is going to be worth more than anything. Okay, 2 more, and then we'll go to the behavioral shifts. From I fear failure and looking foolish, aka judgment, to failure is data. It's the feedback for my next attempt. Now, this one is difficult. When I work with clients, they are so concerned about not doing something for fear of looking crazy or not even being successful. Well, you think everything that you do for the first time, you're going to be successful? Well, no. I mean, I know that, it takes a couple of tries maybe. It may take a couple dozen tries. But you can't give up. I'm looking at y'all's comments. You can't give up. Is that what you would teach your niece, your nephew, your children, your mentee? I don't want to do something because I may fail and I may look foolish. That's nonsense. So we're going to go from that to looking at failure as data. And the more data I get, eventually that data is going to prove that I am going to be more successful because I know more. I've tried more things. When you're trying to lose weight and you've done all the fad diets and you've lost the weight and gained it back, you know what not to go back to. You know, if you are doing workouts that are high intensity and high impact and you find yourself injured more than you are not injured, that's data. You're like, I ain't doing this. I still have my goal to lose weight, to get in a regimented and consistent fitness regimen, but I can't sacrifice my health and my body just to have a routine. There are other routines, but I won't know that unless I try. I won't know a balanced life of non caloric restriction. A lot of people think like, oh, if I want to lose weight, I have to eat less. And that's not true, but it's data. You got to figure that out. Like I can say that until I'm blue in the face. Other fitness influencers or people, dietitians and nutritionists will tell you do not cut calories to lose weight. Our bodies love consistency. But unless you do it for yourself and say, hey, I tried this, it didn't work, I was miserable, all that data is giving you is it's beefing up your promise of getting it right just for you. All right. Last one of mindset shift. From I have to say yes to everything to a no to others is a yes to my priorities. This one made me shout, okay? People are always going to ask you for things. It's just human nature. Hey, can you pick me up from the airport? Hey, can you come with me here? Hey, give me a call. I want to talk to you about da-da-da-da. Hey, would you mind if... You don't have to say yes. And you don't have to spend your whole day explaining yourself onto why you aren't able to do something that someone has asked you to do. Of course, we want to be there for people because people are there for us, of course. But if saying yes to you puts me in a compromised position, I have to really weigh if that is in alignment with something that I am able, willing to do. If my priority is to get up and work out first thing in the morning, I'm not going to be out late at night just on a regular. I'm not. There are circumstances where that does happen, but all in all, my priority is saying yes to myself, yes to my schedule, yes to regulating my nervous system because I get nervous, when stuff don't go right. Saying yes to myself may be saying no to you, and y'all have to be okay with people or with saying no to people. All right. One thing that you can do with this one instead of, because no, I'm not able to do that, may be too raw for you. So something that you can say is, you know what? Let me check my calendar. Let me see what I have going on and I'll get back to you. That gives you and the other person, so it's non-committal. It's giving you a time to think about if saying yes to them is worth it. And then it also doesn't put you in a position to have to go back on your word if you say yes and then you have to say no. All right. All right, let's get into these behavioral shifts. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm at 30 minutes. Okay, so let me kind of go through these. I don't want to rush this, but I do want to kind of get into these behavioral shifts because they're both equally important. Okay, behavioral shifts. Going from scrolling social media in the morning to starting your day, with 5 minutes of silence, intention, and or reading. It's very difficult. Our phones, we usually sleep with our phones. Our phones are our alarms, which is a whole nother thing. But stop doing that because you're training yourself to always look to be stimulated or to be distracted by something else. When you wake up in the morning, you should be focused and intentional. When you go to bed, this is something we also talk about in our in our workroom, our private accountability group, we talk about deloading and reloading. I say an hour, but just for kicks and giggles, at least the first 5 minutes when you wake up. Don't wake up, look at your phone, and then start scrolling. Don't do that. That is the first time. So you've gone from a fasted state from 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, of sleep, no food, no water, and then you instantly are stimulated by all of the lights and the stuff in the phone. You instantly start your system being dysregulated because you're seeing things, you're hearing things that don't align with, like, oh my God, it's too early. You ever wake up and it's like loud and you're like, oh my God, like, why is it so loud? You can't start your day like that. It'll disrupt your whole thing. You ever engaged with people like first thing in the morning, they have an attitude? It's like, oh, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Probably they were scrolling. Okay. So going from scrolling social media first thing in the morning to starting your day with intention. For me, when I wake up, I hit the ground. I say, thank you, Jesus. I get my stuff together, go downstairs. I'll do my meditation for about 5 minutes. While I'm stretching or right before I stretch, I'll say good morning to y'all. That's my routine. I used to get up and scroll, and then it would be like 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, how you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then be late because you scrolling? No, that doesn't work. All right. All right. Number 2, going from complaining about a problem without seeking a solution. So you just complain, you just fuss, you got the same problem, same issue. You just want to tell everybody about it. So going from that to identifying one small actionable step to address it. What's one thing I can do about this today, this week, this month, this pay period? What's one thing I can do? Even if it's something tiny like researching how to do whatever, that's something that you can do. A lot of times we get kind of stuck in this rut of just complaining and just being kind of like this victim mentality of like, woe is me. And although there are some times where you want to vent to a friend or you want to kind of just be in your feelings about something, don't stay there. Let that be a moment and let's come out of it, because you're eventually going to have to come out of it. And the longer you stay in a situation where you're not seeking answers, where you're not seeking closure, where you're not seeking some sort of action to take you from the feeling and place that you are to a better place, the harder it's going to be, right? So if you're tired of being overweight and you feel like there's nothing you can do about it, versus you being overweight and you feeling like there's nothing you can do about it, but you're going to try to at least walk. You're going to research, chair aerobics in your area. You're going to try to maybe find a Y to go swimming. You may try a dance class. Fitness can be intimidating. Fitness can be very daunting if you are not a person who you may not love the gym. You may find it not your jam, right? But everybody can have something to be able to get excited about, or at least motivated a little bit to try, right? All right. Going from filling every moment with noise to embracing boredom or reflections daily. Now, this is something that I used to struggle with a lot. I'm always in the car, driving to and from here to there. And I, listen to the radio, listen to podcasts, listen to, call people. This is the time where I like to talk on the phone because I don't, usually get a chance to talk on the phone because it's always like, sit down, shut up. I don't tell my kids to shut up, but I'm talking to the dog. And it's like the car rides are the only time that I have to really catch up with people or to catch up on things. And I found myself I kind of realized one day that all I was doing was exhausting myself. I was exhausting myself by feeling like I had to do and talk and say and be available. Hey, call me at this time. I'll be in the car. And what that did was that it didn't allow me to be with myself. Now, yes, I'm with myself when I work out, obviously, but I didn't have any quiet time with myself. Even working out, I'm listening to a workout program, or I'm listening to music, or, something like that. But just to sit in silence, it's amazing. It's so peaceful. When I pick up the kids now, they want to listen to the radio, and I'm like, no, let's just not. And they used to fight me tooth and nail. Well, why can't we listen to the radio? We can turn it down low. La 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 la. Now, when I say, hey guys, let's just have a silent ride, they're like, okay, mommy. Sometimes they go to sleep. Sometimes they're bright eyed and bushy tailed, and they're just looking around. They're observing things that they have never seen before, although we take the same way home usually, or we take the same way to the same places. It's nice. So going from filling every moment with some type of noise or stimulation to spending more quiet, reflective time, because that's when God really speaks. God is not going to speak over you. He's not going to speak over the radio. In your quiet moments where you can hear his voice, that is the time where he's going to whisper to his child the message that he has for us. All right, so as a quick recap, instead of doing all of these to-do lists and things and checklists, and that is important, don't get me wrong, checklists and productivity charts and all that is important, but don't let that rule your life. Don't be so busy that you have no business and that you're not comfortable with being with yourself. All right, so I want you to pick one mindset shift and one behavioral shift, and something that you can do now for this month. I want you to focus on doing that this month. That is your homework, okay? I want you to create, in addition to your one mindset shift and your one behavioral shift, I want you to create 3 focuses for your 2026. Like next year, I want to get in better physical health by losing 20 pounds. We're not talking about quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Just for 2026, I want to make a better conscious effort to connect with friends and family. I want to learn how to knit. I want to travel more. I want to, whatever it is. I want to transition careers. I want to get out of this field into a totally different field. I want to, whatever it is. So I want you to pick one behavioral shift, one mindset shift, and then 3 things. They can be super small or super medium. I don't want you to make huge, big things, right? Because they don't have to be big. They don't have to be big to be effective. 3 small goals that you want to look for 2026. When you have them, you can comment. If it takes you a while, I want you to come back to this video and say, hey, I had some time to think about it. This is what I want to do. You have the whole month of December. I want you to kind of pick it quickly so that you can actually create a plan to implement it for 2026. But January 1st, your 3 goals for that year, okay? Last but not least, I invite you. There is a private accountability group that I start at the top of every single year. It's called the Work Room. It's the Operation Sexy Body Work Room. I call it the Work Room because it is the place where we do the work. We do the self-work. We do the mental, emotional, physical work of bettering ourselves. We do it in a small group format. We do it on Marco Polo, which is a video messaging app that's completely free. And it's a great way to connect with you on a daily basis. We talk every single day. And there is an informational video that I have. The link is in my bio. But I will be talking more about that, opening up the slots. I'm only going to do 7 or 8 slots for the event, for the accountability group. That is a manageable number for me. It is a great way for people to get to know each other. And it's not so big that you feel like nobody is going to care about kind of what's going on with you. I wrote down some topics that we talk about. Self-limiting beliefs, truths about ourselves. It's an exercise called the 10 Truths exercise. It's very powerful. We've had scenarios where we have written letters to ourselves. We talk about resiliency, setbacks, habits, learning styles, personality traits. So my particular approach to accountability groups is pairing the accountability of fitness and nutrition with life skills. I think that creates like this full circle. So stay tuned for more information about that. I'll open up registration probably the last week of December, like the last full week of December. No, I probably shouldn't do that because of the holiday. I was looking at the calendar dates. I think it's like the 15th through the 19th, because that following week is Christmas and then the following week is New Year's, and y'all ain't gonna be checking on here all about that. So, but thank you guys. It's been 40 minutes. So I'm a little over my 30-minute time frame. Hopefully you were able to stay for most of it. If not, you can come back. If you're watching it live, thank you. If you are watching it in replay, thank you. I love y'all. And we've been doing this every single month, every single first of the month for the last couple of years, maybe like 3-4 years maybe, and it's been a great time. We've had some shifts in the format, we've had some shifts in the platforms, but y'all stick with me. If this is your first time or 50th time, I thank you so much, and I look forward to the next time we get to connect. So thank you guys. Have a great day.